The time's come to play here in my garden of shadows.
Hello, I'm Runia, aka Media Adaptation, and welcome back to Moderation while meets for a game. And it's Friday, so that means it's time to continue our research into the supposed lost 80s anime called Go for a Punch, but probably better known as Saki Sanobashi. The TLDR, girls get trapped in a bathroom, debate the meaning of life, get naked for unknown reasons, before ending themselves by bashing their heads against the wall, clawing out the throat, and drowning in the sink. Many people have claimed it to be one anime or another, so we set out to try and weed through all the leads, whether they be series that match parts of our story, or just something spread by trolls. If any progress is going to be made, then we need to take an honest look at each of them. Oh, and last week we got a few comments saying, why are we even doing this, as the thing's most likely fake anyway. I think I said this before, but again, worst case scenario, we're just going to talk about a bunch of old anime. That doesn't seem like that big of a waste to me. But anyway, let's get down to it. Last week, we discussed the possibility of there being a manga version of this existing. But what I forgot to mention was one of the better leads that came out of it prior to the crash of the Discord server. The manga known as Brain Damage, by Shinichiro Kago. There are 6 pages of it available from the publishing house Wani Magazine. It's about a group of girls with neutral colored hair waking up in a room with no idea of how they got there. The difference here being that one of them is able to find a small piece of metal and use it to pick open the lock. Our group then runs for it, trying to find another door that opens, but once they find it, on the other side is another group of girls that, well, Sanobashi themselves, for lack of a better term. Again, this was the closest that the group came to finding the lost anime, but when taking a closer look, we do run into some problems. Namely the fact that this manga came out in 2017, 2 years after the first post for Go for a Punch, and 6 years after when it was allegedly seen. But on a positive note, is that this scene that played out is very close to what we're looking for. So it's highly probable that this was based on an older story, or at least inspired it in one way or another. Also last time, we pointed out one of the characters from the anime, This is Greenwood. And I said that this wasn't what we were looking for, because her hair was pink and not blonde. But one of our viewers pointed out that the original post didn't call it blonde either. It was from one of the later troll ones that actually said that. It was just said to be lightly colored hair that looked almost white. So yes, this character would still fit our established parameters. But again, This is Greenwood is a slice of life anime, and not a horror one, and that was our original meaning for excluding it from the list. But something odd I found while researching this was from a Japanese message board about an American asking about Go for a Punch. And someone posted this image. 7 girls locked in a bathroom, and our girl in the middle has lightly colored hair, wearing what seems to be a hime cut. Again, one of the other details from the original post. Also, looking back at that one, it said something about the eye spacing being weird. And this kind of has that same feeling. And in the bottom corner, it says, presented by Vanilla 2002, which would be before our 2011 mark that we're looking for. And you could argue that this has an older art style. I personally would probably say it's more of a late 90s style, kind of like that manga called Dearest. But a strange thing that occurred to me is when we look at the other 2 lines. Defect Girls and Bondage. And to me anyway, that kind of gives me the impression of something like that game Criminal Girls for the PS Vita. So it makes me ask the question, has anyone tried to look for this anime as if it was a video game? PC games, namely the ones like visual novels, normally have anime style cutscenes. So our Go for a Punch could be something like the bad ending to one of these titles. And the earlier parts would probably be a good or neutral ending, which are strung together to make the video last longer. It offers some interesting routes that we could look at next time. And I guess it goes without saying that if anyone has any other information about this, like the title or where this came from, then please feel free to post it down in the comments below, as I have no further info on it. I've googled both the publisher, the timestamp, and both the English letters and found nothing. So again, any information is appreciated. And now for an odd note to end on. We were asked to take a look at the anime Bio Armor Riger from 1989. There's no real blood in it, so that part's out of the question. It is entertaining, kinda gives me an old Saint Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac, or Ronin Warriors feel. Oh, and you may be asking yourself, why does this anime kinda look familiar, if you don't recognize the name of it? Well then you might know it by its other name, Justin Liger. Yes, as in the anime and opening theme song that brought us the wrestler Justin Thunder Liger. Yeah, that's probably one of the most useless, random, off-topic things that we could end this on, but hey, that's kind of par for the show at this point. And that about does it for this video. If you have any other ideas like seeing made into a video, then please post it down in the comments below, and we'll add it to our next viewer request week.
It's now time for the part of the show where we ask you to help us appease the YouTube algorithm by dropping a like, share, or comment. It helps out much more than you'd think.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, then it's very much appreciated. And if you'd like to support this channel, then please visit our Patreon. Link will be down in the description below. Even if you can't give a lot, every little bit helps. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Anyway, I'm Runya.
And I'm Ada.
Reminding you to take life in moderation.
Weep not, poor children, for life is this way, murdering beauty and passion. Hush now, dear children, it must be this way, to